Welcome to our live coverage of the USBC Team USA Trials final round here at the Orleans Bowling Center in Las Vegas. I'm Lucas Wiseman of Bowl TV. Appreciate you joining us this evening as we will crown our Team USA Trials champions, as well as determine who will represent Team USA at the World Cup later this year. Our semifinals both going on at the same time. Mike Fagan against John Szczerbinski, and Sarah Lokker versus Brittni Hamilton. And Fagan will start things off here with a strike. Both matches being contested on the Athens oil pattern, the same pattern we bowled on to close out qualifying today. Here is Sarah Lokker, already a junior Team USA member in 2014, and she starts off with a strike here in the semifinal. So who's waiting to take on the winner of these matches? Well, on the men's side, that would be Chris Barnes. And on the women's side, it's Shannon Pluhowsky. So a star-studded final round here at the Team USA Trials. And here is Szczerbinski, last year's winner here at the Team Trials. And he starts off with a split, a 210 in the first frame. It's just a one-game match to determine the winners in these semifinals. The final will also be one game. Here's Brittni Hamilton, our first look at her. And she wraps a 10 to start things off. Got a lot of folks watching already. Please help us by spreading the word on Facebook and Twitter. Share the link and let everybody know that we've got the live streaming happening right now here on Bowl TV. And we're going to bring in our lane pattern expert, Eric Pearson, to help with the play-by-play here for the finals. And Eric,
good evening, Lucas.
Which patterns are we seeing right now? What did they pick? Because the top seed got to pick, so that means Lokker and Szczerbinski got to pick.
Correct. Both number 2 seeds chose Athens, which was also the pattern that we bowled on the whole day today for the last and fifth day of qualifying. 40 feet in length. The volume is about 26.5 mils, which most of the patterns are all in that same range, 25, 26 milliliters.
So both top seeds in the semifinals picking the Athens pattern, and Brittni Hamilton with a strike in the second. Szczerbinski already finds himself in a little bit of a hole here against Fagan after the split in the first.
Yeah, John actually said he kind of wishes he didn't have to choose, because, what do? Do you think offensively and pick what you like and what you bowled on? Or what if your opponent bowled well on that also during the week? Do you pick something that maybe your opponent might have had a little bit of trouble on? And then it's a one-game match, so it's tough to choose.
Well, Sarah gets that one right, never hooked back, and leaves the super washout in the second frame.
I was kind of surprised the guys, they've been sitting all afternoon while the women finished up their qualifying, so they all went out and threw balls for 10 or 15 minutes on the warm-up here, but the girls chose not to throw any. They just waited for their 5 minutes warm-up here. So maybe just a little bit of nerves here to get started.
Well, Fagan gashed that one and sent a pin across the deck for a double and an early lead. You can see the scores at the top of your screen there.
Oh, great shot on that spare. Pin just didn't do the right thing there in the corner. Yeah, it's crazy how immediate this all becomes. The week is just grueling. 6 games every day on 5 patterns, and all of a sudden it's here you go, 10 frames. Good luck to you.
Yeah, they bowled 30 games on 5 different patterns this week, and all of the players who have made it to the final round have already secured spots on Team USA. So
top 3. Yeah.
That part is taken care of for them, which is that's the big thing that they come here to bowl this tournament for. But now they're bowling for the title. They're bowling for a $1,000 first place prize.
Yep.
They are also bowling for the right to represent Team USA at the Cubica AMF World Cup later this year. That's hopefully some exotic destination.
Because you go.
To be here.
Yeah, sure.
This is trouble here for Sarah. Oh, no, it didn't.
Fell back
looked
at
like it kept going the wrong direction there for a second, but it kind of fell back at it.
I'm a little surprised the girls are as far left as they are, and I can't really tell Michael here on the left lane, but it looked like he was a little more direct on the outside on lane 12. Yeah, he's definitely pretty direct up the lane.
Nice looking shot. Fagan's 3 for 3 and up by 32 early on here against Szczerbinski, our defending champion.
Probably just a little bit easier because of his ball speed, and he can stay behind it. He can play that little bit of straighter trajectory on this. The girls, maybe with their softer speed, feel like they have to give away the pocket a little bit.
So Brittni tosses a double, and she goes up by 22.
Very easy on her ball speed, though, wouldn't you say? I mean, we know she can throw the ball a lot firmer than that. So definitely just letting the ball see the lane, throwing a little bit of surface. John also a little farther to the left, it looks like, than Mike, but definitely softer. Getting out of the ball, letting the ball see the lane. Mike's a little bit more up and at him.
So Brittni going for her third consecutive strike here.
So that looked a little bit in.
Oh, look at her trip out to 410 there. Brittni playing pretty deep. But another strike, and that increases the lead up to 32. And I think John Szczerbinski's in some early trouble here against Mike Fagan.
Yeah.
It's only a one-game match, and right now Fagan is perfect through 3 frames. Szczerbinski was an open and a strike. You can see the scoreboards at the top of your screen.
Great shot by Sarah there. She watched out there the previous time. It really didn't look that much that different. Maybe she missed the last one at the bottom or something, just didn't quite get enough hand in it.
And just to recap for those of you just tuning in, we're live at the Orleans in Las Vegas. This is the finals of the Team USA Trials for 2014. I'm Lucas Wiseman along with Eric Pearson, bringing you the action here on Bowl TV. And Szczerbinski
caves in the left side.
He's perfect on that left lane, but he's going to have to figure out that right lane pretty quick.
And that one looked just a hair quicker, and it definitely had more trouble getting around the corner down on the back end.
Sarah desperately needs a double here, and she does get it.
Ball's finishing hard on 13. Both bowlers getting the 10 pin out very easily there. Mike with the re-rack. Interesting to see here. I don't know if Mike's got any room left. As straight as he's playing, I think if he gets it in a pinch, I guess the potential of going high is there, but he definitely is throwing the ball pretty firm and getting it to hold line. See what happens here with the first 3.
Brittni can continue to apply the pressure here with another strike, working on 3 in a row.
She doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's a little bit too far to the right.
Yeah, didn't get around the ball quite as much either. Kind of like it got off her hand fast. And
that's a lot of 8, though, on that shot. It very easily could have been 5.
You could tell by her body language she knew it was not making it back.
Well, let's see if Fagan can stay perfect to start off this game. He's throwing it pretty fast. He's throwing the high, hard one at it.
He is, isn't it? And don't you think if he gets that in a hair, it's going to go high and possibly be a split?
Yeah, it almost looks like he's trying to overpower the pattern right now. But he's 4 for 4. Hard to argue with the results. Yep. Brittni looking like she might chop it, but gets the spare.
That would have tightened things up in a hurry.
Brittni is up by 20 pins right now. Again, the championship match will follow immediately after we are done here with the semifinals. Right after, of course, our lane man here, Mr. Pearson, runs the lanes.
We're all ready to go. The machines have been, the patterns for the leading qualifiers have already been chosen and burned them onto the buffer brushes of the 2 lane machines. We'll just have to burn a pair, and should take us about 10 minutes to do 3 pairs each.
Fagan trying to go 5 for 5 and extend his very large early lead. And he does.
Wow.
He's looking tough right now.
I thought that was in.
The winner on the men's side going to face Chris Barnes for the title. The winner on the women's side will bowl Shannon Pluhowsky. Brittni looking to get back on track after that last shot.
That's a better shot. Flat 10.
Yep. Well, John Szczerbinski's in a must-strike situation here for the next few frames until Mike Fagan shows any signs of letting up. John has got to strike every frame.
Yeah, he's got to stay with him here. Hope Mike gives something back.
He's down 52 right now. He can cut it to 42 with a strike here at the halfway point. Good looking shot there. So it's now a 42-pin deficit for Szczerbinski with half a game to go. Brittni covers up the spare. Still up by 19. Appreciate everybody joining us for our live coverage of the USBC Team USA Trials. I want to remind you that the USBC Open and Women's Championships begin in just a couple of months, and spots are still available if you'd like to bowl. Go to bowl.com/tournaments for more information on the USBC Open and Women's Championships. Both going to be being held in Reno this year. Here's Szczerbinski, 6th frame.
Pretty firm there. Get the 10 out. Oh,
Stayed
light. Mixed them up nice.
That cuts it to 32 now.
Yeah, I
so
gotta
he's
say, Aaron,
clawing back in this thing.
You know, with the back-to-back spares for Brittni here, Sarah can get up and double and be right in the match, even in the lead by a pin. With count here, she needs this one.
Little light mixer.
Oh, gets the 7 out late.
That's 3 in a row for Sarah Lokker, and now
puts her in the 130s and the 6th, just as Brittni is. So this match is strike here makes it.
Yeah, strike here would give Sarah the lead by 1.
1.
And Fagan can push his lead back to 42 if he strikes in the 6th.
Yeah, you're going to get up to a point here where Szczerbinski's going to have to look at his max score of striking out and where that, what Mike has to give back just to keep it close.
I see Chris Barnes walking down this way, probably wanting to look a little bit at ball reaction or something, maybe. These guys. Fagan just continuing to pipe it. And you can tell it's starting to hook a little bit more each time, but that is 6 strikes in a row for Fagan.
When are we going next? We're not doing a different pair? Really? So we just don't do it like the worlds do it? You don't do it like the worlds do it? Yeah, we're doing a pair of people in a separate pair.
Fagan trying to stay perfect here. 6 for 6. He's piping it in there again. Oh, and the 4-pin falls forward for the front 7, and that is hard to defend against.
And the 4 and the 10 were both there for a second. 10 went out pretty easy, and then the 4 falls forward. So now we're at a point here where John Szczerbinski can still shoot 258.
So he pretty much has to strike out.
He almost has to do that
here.
And hope Fagan gets a couple spares in here.
So no room for error now for John Szczerbinski in the final 4 frames.
Yeah, he's already at the point where he needs to throw his max score. Stop.
No problem.
Great shot.
And our women's match, very close. Sarah Lokker in the lead by 1 pin with 3 frames to go, and a big shot coming up here for Brittni Hamilton.
Yeah. Kind of a weaker 10 pin here on the last shot. Just didn't face up early enough, came in a little light. She got around that one pretty good, but it's in.
Goes through the face, leaves a 3-6-10. At least she got the 9 out, that's the good news.
Just didn't quite give it enough room. A little bit tight.
Once again, Szczerbinski in a must-strike situation here the rest of the way. This is the 8th frame.
It's got a hold.
Yeah, he pulled it, but look at it go. Not too much different than what Fagan did.
He gets his break.
Very entertaining matches so far here in our semifinals. Brittni Hamilton trying to cover up the spare.
All over it.
Still down by 1, although she's going to be down by even more if Sarah Lokker steps up and throws another strike in the 8th. Some great bowling going on here in our semifinal matches. Again, the winner of the men's match will take on Chris Barnes for the title. The winner of the women's match will Shannon Pluhowsky for the title. And please take a moment to share the link on Facebook and Twitter and spread the word. Closing in on 2,000 viewers, which is a good number. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us here on Bowl TV this evening. Much appreciated. We're live at the Orleans and Las Vegas. And Mike Fagan is 7 for 7 to start this semifinal.
Even harder.
And he wraps a 10.
Yeah, he just juiced it a little bit more. I think he chose that instead of moving left a little bit. He started to go a little bit high, and I think the minute he would have given away the pocket, he probably would have 10-pinned anyway.
That match isn't quite over yet. So. And here's Sarah, chances to go up by 11 with a strike in the 8th.
Needs to come back hard. Yep.
And leaves the 10-pin on that shot, so we are going to be all tied up if she makes the spare.
Yeah, the 7 count there didn't hurt Brittni on the strike. Doesn't lose any count. So basically Mike would have to spare out here 9th and 10th, lose a couple pins in count, and John would have to strike out to get this victory, right? 210, 230, 250 for Mike if he spares off the sheet. Again, he was really high on lane 11 the last time. I think he's going to stay with the same shot. He's just going to amp up his speed.
Szczerbinski can shoot 258, and if Mike Fagan strikes here and then fills 20 in the 10th, he would shoot 259.
Correct. Yep.
So Fagan, this is a big shot
here. Big shot for count, yes.
Yeah, if he strikes here, he won't have to double in the 10th frame, no matter what Szczerbinski does. So this is a big shot here for the count.
There's going to be some loft and speed on this shot. That's light.
Comes up light, leaves the 2-pin. That makes things very interesting.
This looks a little reminiscent of his victory at the Masters over Chris Barnes, where he just started lofting it and throwing it harder in that title match.
Sarah with a great shot, but a solid 8-pin.
Wow.
In the 9th frame, and that is tough right there in a match that is dead even to leave a solid 8-pin.
Now she's just got to be composed here, make her spare. You know, Brittni still has to get up and make a couple good shots here. Would have been nice to get the strike set up for the 10th. Well, let's see what Johnny Szczerbinski can do here.
Well, Szczerbinski basically, at this point, needs to strike out in the 9th and the 10th. If he strikes out, he shoots 258, and that would force Fagan to double to win, because Fagan could go strike, spare in the 10th, and shoot 258 as well.
Well, if he gets the ones on the 9th and 10th, he's going to make Michael at least mark in the 10th.
So a lot of pressure here on Szczerbinski in the final couple of frames. Both matches very close here. So here we go, 9th frame, Szczerbinski working on 5 in a row. That looks close.
That should hold off.
Great shot by our defending
fantastic.
champion. And that is 6 in a row, and he has clawed his way back into this thing.
That is incredible.
If Brittni Hamilton strikes on this shot, she will take a 1-pin lead and have the opportunity to shut out Sarah Lokker in the 10th.
She got around that ball good.
Great shot. Multi-time Team USA member Brittni Hamilton delivers a great shot in the 9th to give herself a 1-pin lead.
She's in control here, so.
The best that Sarah can shoot is 226. So Brittni needs a double in the 10th to shut her out, it looks like.
Yep.
A strike 9 spare for Brittni would be 226. Big shots here for Szczerbinski. Needs all 3 in the 10th to put the pressure on Fagan.
That's a good shot. Wow.
Running it out, letting out a roar and a fist bump, and he lets Fagan know he's not going anywhere in this match. Heck of a match here in the semifinals.
So with 9 spare even here, that at least that forces Michael to mark.
Brittni can shut out Sarah with a double in the 10th. Here's the first one. Looks
That's
a little left. Yeah. It does hold flush.
Yeah. A little more angle than the last shot over there. She got the last one in a little bit. That was a little steeper through the front. And great shot.
So now
not any
can,
cheap ones are there this match. A couple light hits, but they were still really good shots.
Just hit 2,000 viewers. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in this evening here on Bowl TV. You're tuned in at the right time. A couple of fantastic matches. A huge shot coming here for John Szczerbinski. Second shot in the 10th to force Mike Fagan to do some work in the 10th. Got it! And another strike for Szczerbinski. He is looking at a max of 258 and putting all kinds of pressure on Mike Fagan here at the end. Now Brittni Hamilton can close out this match with a strike right here. If she does not strike on this shot, Sarah Lokker still has a chance to either tie or win in the 10th. So here it is.
That's a little bit in, but I think it's going to hold.
Oh, and the 4-pin stays up.
If anything, a 4-pin, yep.
And the possibility of a tie is out there in that match, in both matches, to be honest. And here is Szczerbinski, a huge fill ball. Got to get all 10 here. And John does, and what a finish by John Szczerbinski. Finishes with 9 consecutive strikes for 258.
Wow. Mike needs this one.
Brittni, a huge spare here, and she covers it up, and now Sarah will need all 3 in the 10th to tie.
And a 9 count here. Szczerbinski's your winner.
Yep. Fagan must strike on his first shot, or Szczerbinski wins.
We could have 2 ties.
We could very easily have 2 ties. We have got a full house here watching right now. Every seat taken in the bleachers. They're crawling over each other to watch these matches.
Nobody's in a hurry.
Yep. Looks like Fagan's going to go first. Fagan must strike on this shot or Szczerbinski advances to the title match.
He rung a 10 the last time on this lane.
Gotta have it.
He moved in and bellied it a little bit.
And it's a 10-pin that goes down! Wow! Do you believe that?
So that just had a little bit more angle. His last shot, he just amped up the speed and was a little bit light. That one, it looked like he crept in a little bit and eased up just a hair.
Sarah has to have a strike as well. Needs all 3 in the 10th.
Good ball.
Gets it. Heck of a match here.
So now a strike for the win. Fagan strikes, he wins.
Yep, Fagan can. If Fagan strikes, he wins.
Nope, I take that back.
One pin and count. But if Fagan spares here, we would have a tie. We also could have a tie if Sarah Lokker throws 2 more strikes in the 10th. We could not have asked for better semifinals. This is fantastic. So Fagan's going to go first. A strike here, Fagan moves on to the title match. He needs at least a spare for the tie, but a strike wins it if he gets count on the fill. That's left. He yanks it through the face and leaves the 3-6. And now the best case scenario for Fagan is a tie. And here's Sarah. Sarah needs it.
Come a long way.
Oh, and comes up light and leaves a 2-8-10. And Brittni Hamilton will advance to take on Shannon Pluhowsky. A great run this week by Sarah as she earns a spot on Team USA, already on Junior Team USA, but a fantastic performance by Sarah Lokker and great bowling by Brittni Hamilton to advance to the title match.
Great match.
Mike Fagan must make this spare. If he does not make it, John Szczerbinski wins. Covers it up, no problem, and we are all tied at 258 apiece. 1 ball roll-off is what we understand is going to be the tiebreaker. 226 to 215. Brittni Hamilton wins against Sarah Lokker in our women's semifinal, and we tie at 258 in the men's match.
Sarah fell behind a little bit early. She battled back in the middle of that game. Got the lead back for a frame or 2. And
let's hear what Stephen has to say. So it will be a 1-ball roll-off. Higher seed picks the lane, it sounds like.
On our women's side, our semifinal winner, with a score of 226 to 215, is Brittni Hamilton.
right, so they're getting set up for our sudden death roll-off here. This is the time you need to get on Facebook and Twitter and spread the word and let everybody know. I mean, this is, you can't find better bowling action than this.
Looks like John's going to bowl on the, I don't know.
This rivals what you would see on TV for sure.
Mike would get choice here, right? Mike's choosing where to.
Szczerbinski is the higher seed.
John is, okay. I thought
Yes.
Mike was second.
No,
You're right, John.
Szczerbinski's
John
higher,
chose
so
the pattern, you're right.
it looks like John
He's going to stay where they're at,
first,
where they bowled their 10th frames.
and here they go. They're just going to put it in practice mode, and
Yep.
it's sudden death. Spares don't matter.
Yeah.
Count doesn't
And
matter.
obviously, Mike now has had a couple slightly errant shots on the right lane. John's, I think he's got a little more push to get the ball to give him a bigger pocket on 11.
So here we go, sudden death. One ball roll off to break the tie in the semifinal.
He didn't take
Szczerbinski
any
to start
time.
things off. It's way right, and he leaves the washout at the 6 count.
He did
and
not take any time.
Fagan just needs 7 to advance. Wow. And just like that, Szczerbinski's hopes of successfully defending his title have virtually evaporated because all Fagan needs is 7
Mike
pins.
throw on the same lane?
It looks like it.
That's interesting.
So Fagan just needs 7 pins on this shot.
All right, Lucas, I'm going to go get the machines ready here.
All right, Eric's got to run the lanes.
reel.
And here's Mike Fagan up. Fagan needs 7 or better to advance. And that's a strike. And Mike Fagan advances and will take on Chris Barnes for the title.
Mike, pick again. Spectators, a brief timeout for lane maintenance. Once again, athletes, coaches, parents, you're welcome to the hors d'oeuvres in the paddock area this time. Please stick around, brief lane maintenance, then we'll begin our final match.
So our championship matches will begin soon. We've got to re-oil the lanes. The top seeds get to pick the patterns. And so we've got to put out the new patterns for the championship matches. But wow, those were some great matches, weren't they, folks? Semifinals. Just to recap, Brittni Hamilton, 226 to 215 over Sarah Lokker. And Mike Fagan wins the sudden death roll-off with a strike. John Szczerbinski with a 6 count. It's a tie at 258 in the semifinal. So it's going to be Chris Barnes versus Mike Fagan, our men's championship match. And our women's championship match will be Shannon Pluhowsky versus Brittni Hamilton. And again, they are going to run the lanes. Shouldn't take but about 10 minutes or so. And then we will get started with our championship match here in just a couple of minutes. So for our championship matches, Chris Barnes picked Stockholm, the short pattern, and Shannon Pluhowsky picked Mexico City. So those are the patterns that we're going to see. 2 different patterns, one for each pair. And it'll only take a couple of minutes to run the lanes here, and then we should get started in just a few minutes. So stand by.
You play where she is? That's good. Just you try to play where you were.
We'll break them down faster.
I'm glad it wasn't a game. None of us need to be here.
It used to be.
What is it? What do they do now? Every 1 ball for each player. So 5 balls or whatever. It's good awareness.
Hit it with 500. Sure why Lucas gets to have Lucas don't mean nothing. What's up, baby? Sleeping today?
Again, just waiting for lane maintenance to conclude, and then we will get started with our championship matches. Should only take a few minutes to run the lanes here. You can see Eric actually down on the gutter cap down there. Eric Pearson, my color commentator. He is making sure that the machines operate properly. Again, we've got Chris Barnes against Mike Fagan for the men's title, Shannon Pluhowsky against Brittni Hamilton for the women's title. as you can see, both lane machines going up and down the lanes, and we are just waiting for lane maintenance to conclude. Shouldn't be much longer, and then we will get started with the championship matches. Immediately following the championship matches, we will have the announcements of the selections for Team USA. And for Junior Team USA, we will bring that to you live right here on Bowl TV when they finish up the championship match. So be sure to stick around after our title matches to find out who was selected for Team USA and Junior Team USA. But our championship matches, Barnes versus Fagan, Pluhowsky versus Hamilton, coming up very soon. Stand by. Once again, getting ready to start our championship matches. If you're on Twitter, follow USBC at USBC. Make sure you give us a follow. We always let you know when we've got live streaming going on. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC. Haven't been able to keep up with all the tweets that have been coming in to me, but thanks everybody for all the tweets coming in. Lots of great stuff. Appreciate it. And you can follow me on Twitter at Lucas_Wiseman, or just go to Twitter, search for USBC. My account and USBC should both come up. Give us both the follow. And while you're over on Twitter, please spread the word about the live streaming. Let's get some more folks tuning in because this promises to be a spectacular championship round here. Our title matches coming up. USBC Masters is coming up next month, and plenty of spots still available to bowl, but that's not going to be the case for long. We expect it to sell out again this year. It's going to be next month at the Brunswick Zone Carolier in North Brunswick, New Jersey. So if you're interested in getting signed up for the USBC Masters, I would recommend that you do it soon. The early entry deadline is this Friday, and you can save $50 on your entry if you enter by Friday. So go to bowl.com/masters for more information and to get signed up for this year's USBC Masters. Again, we do expect that event to sell out. So if you're planning to bowl, please don't wait to enter. Practice now underway. They get 5 minutes of practice before we get started with our championship matches. And like I said last time, this is the perfect time to spread the word and get everybody tuned in to watch the live streaming here tonight. It's not too often you get opportunities to watch the best bowlers in the world bowl for titles live, and this is your chance right here. Chris Barnes versus Mike Fagan. The men's title, Shannon Pluhowsky against Brittni Hamilton. And if it's anything like what we saw in our semifinals, this will be epic. minute and a half left in practice before we get started here with our championship matches. Right after we finish our championship matches, we will be announcing the selections for Team USA and Junior Team USA live right here on Bowl TV. About 20 seconds left in practice.
Team Trial spectators, this is your final match. These bowlers have been through 5 days of competition, 30 games of qualifying. On your men's side, the winner of your semifinal match, Michael Fagan. And your tournament leader, qualifying with 42 ranking points, Chris Barnes. On the women's side, the winner of your semifinal match, Brittni Hamilton. And your tournament leader qualifying with 36 ranking points, Shannon Pluhowsky.
So there are your introductions for our championship matches. We are ready to get underway here. Chris Barnes against Mike Fagan, Brittni Hamilton against Shannon Pluhowsky. I'm Lucas Wiseman again of Bowl TV. Thanks for joining us here at the Team USA Trials, our championship matches here at the Orleans and Las Vegas. Joining me is color commentator tonight, as he does on so many of our
Quit
Bowl
calling
TV,
me names, Lucas.
as he does on so many of our Bowl TV broadcasts, is Eric Pearson. And Eric, let's start by talking about which patterns we have on the lanes quickly.
All right, Chris Barnes was your leading qualifier for the men's show Stockholm. That is 34 feet in length.
The shortest of the five
The
patterns.
shortest of
yes.
all five, the only short that they bowled on this week. Right around 26 mils of oil. Definitely playing out by the edge, out by first arrow on the gutter.
And we can take a look at it here as Chris Barnes starts things off.
He's actually giving the ball a little bit of room. He's not really right up the edge. Throwing looks like quite a bit of surface. That might even be his. Help me out with that ball. The EPX.
Okay, yep. And our women's match, what's the lane condition there? Mexico
Shannon
City,
was the
I
leader.
understand?
She chose Mexico City, the longest of the patterns, at 45 feet.
So an interesting contrast here between these two. We've got the shortest pattern and
Yes.
the longest pattern.
Yeah, and normally you'd think a left-hander like Shannon, who loves playing out by the gutter, would have chosen that. I think she felt like it's just a lot of striking from the gutter, so she thought she would go with a slightly tougher pattern, the longer one, and she actually bowled pretty good on the long pattern. She was able to play a little more in the track area than typically on a long, where you have to play pretty far inside.
So here's Fagan in the first, and the line looks pretty similar to what he did last, but it hooked a lot more in the back of the lane, didn't it?
Yep.
Than our last match, which was on the Athens pattern, so a completely different pattern.
That had a little more, he looped that a little bit more through the front, definitely further to the right. And Shannon's way out there for a long pattern, just kind of going straight up the lane, even a little point. to that direction.
Yeah, she packs all 10 back for a double to start things off. One-game match, by the way, to determine the winners. And the winners of the Team USA Trials, in addition to being crowned the Trials champions, will also go to the Cubica AMF Bowling World Cup later this year at a location to be determined. But it is the 50th anniversary of the World Cup, and it promises to be an epic World Cup from all indications
I'm
that
sure
I've heard.
they'll set you up just fine.
Hopefully we'll do live streaming again of the World Cup next year. Here's Brittni, and she yanks it through the
She held
face,
that one.
leaves the 4-6-7 in the second frame.
One of the main reasons Chris Barnes is here is he said he's never been to a World Cup. As much as he's represented Team USA and all the things he's bowled and all the medals, it's one thing he has not done. He obviously has to win this event to earn that right, but one of the main reasons he said he wanted to come out and do this.
Yeah, the goal for these guys was to make Team USA first, and all of them have done that. And the second goal is to win the title and go to the World Cup. And Mike Fagan gets that one a little right and leaves the 2-pin.
Not quite as much up the edge as I thought he would be.
So early deficit for both Fagan and for Hamilton here as we get settled into our championship matches.
He might feel like they burned up a big enough spot there during practice where he could jump in a little bit and feed off of it, but the ball went a little bit long. Not quite as developed yet as maybe he thinks it was, and comes up light for a 2-pin. Much more back-end motion there. You're going to see Barnes' ball is going to burn up a little bit more. It's going to see more of the front of the lane. And I mean, it looks like it's snapping a lot because he's out by the out by the edge, but it's much more of a controllable rolling ball.
And Brittni not quite hooking the ball a whole lot there, just keeping it in the middle of the lane and not really using too much of the lane, and gets a strike there, but not much room for error.
45 feet's way down there. I mean, the ball doesn't have much time to move once it comes off the oil pattern. Normally you tend to play the long patterns inside.
Yeah, that's the general rule of thumb.
That's a little
Long
wide.
players in and short patterns out, and we're seeing the an example of both of those right here on our
That's exactly what he wants to
contrast
take
of
advantage
matches.
there.
and
A little
Barnes
bit,
and the
little bit
messenger.
wide, but time to come back.
And being wide allowed the messenger to fly across the deck as well. And here's Shannon pointing the ball up at the head pin, and
Yeah.
a little flat 7 there.
Yeah, most places we go, Mexico City is one of the hardest long patterns compared to, say, a Paris or a London. The oil structure within the pattern is much wider. Even though all those patterns have oil across the whole lane from gutter to gutter, London and Paris tend to have more of a buildup in the middle, slightly higher ratios, and it's much easier to guide the ball between the third and fourth arrow. Mexico City is a much wider pattern, almost plays more like a medium.
And Barnes 3 for 3 to start. Well, and just to recap, we got a lot of first-time viewers watching right now who haven't watched all week long. The Team USA Trials exist to help determine who is going to be on Team USA for 2014 and who will represent the United States in international competitions throughout the year. We've got the World Youth Championships and the World Men's Championships coming up later this year, and an American Zone or PABCON Women's Championships as well. And it also serves as the qualifier for the Cubica AMF World Cup. $1,000 first place for the winners. And we got to this point after a grueling format of 5 rounds, 6 games each round on a different pattern each day, with a point system that rewarded people based on their versatility and their performance over the course of all 5 patterns. And the more versatile you are, the more you were rewarded in the points system.
Yeah, point system takes away the possibility of somebody getting the majority of their pins on 1 or 2 patterns.
And Shannon breaks it up there for a strike.
So people may bowl average, they might finish in the middle of the pack on a couple patterns and bowl okay, but then they really bowl well on a couple patterns, and that's where they get all their plus pins. And
it makes all the patterns weighted equally is what it does. Fagan not off to a great start here and looking a little bit perplexed early on in this title match as Barnes is all over him with 3 strikes in a row to start things off. And Fagan has not found a strike out there yet. Brittni can pull to within 11 with a strike right here in the fourth, make up for that split in the second. And a little bit of a flat 10 there.
Yeah, the longer patterns were difficult. Much harder for the girls to get the ball to turn over on the back and make its way through the pins very well. Just typically speaking, if you were to kind of rate the bowling center, most of the bowlers would tell you that it plays like a tighter center. Like the patterns are longer than they would be in a center that hooks a little more. So for instance, the 40-footer kind of feels like it's 41 or 42 feet. Well, this is 45, so what does that feel like? And then the more surface you throw to get the ball to read up, the more it's just losing energy and not having it for the back end when it gets to the pin. So I can see the long pattern being very challenging here, and I think that's one of the reasons Shannon chose it, because she can find a way to manage the outside part of the lane, just kind of point the ball up and take her chances.
Mike Fagan needs to get something going here in the fourth. And there's a big split, and that is big trouble for Fagan, as Barnes will almost certainly jump all over that in the next couple of frames.
Yeah, he might just get loose here and throw all of them at this point. He's got that look. He's very focused.
For those of you who have not watched Bowl TV before, we welcome you. Bowl TV is a service of USBC, thanks to your membership dollars. Makes this possible. We're able to bring you free live streaming of events throughout the course of the year. And you can always find our live stream schedule at bowl.com/livestream. It's a good page to bookmark in case you like to watch live bowling. We cover all sorts of college events, international events, Queens, all kinds of stuff right here on Bowl TV.
More and more all the time, Lucas. You guys are working hard at it.
Staying busy, and it's paying off. Almost 2,700 people watching, so thank you very much for tuning in. It's our biggest audience ever for the
I know
USA
I don't have
Trials.
that many friends, so.
And Pluhowsky with a spare here will lead by 21.
Well, right now it looks like the leading qualifiers made very good pattern choices.
I expected that Barnes would pick this pattern, and I expected he would bowl very well on it. He shot 821 the first three on this pattern.
I'm amazed at how much he's covering the lane.
And he's now got the front four, and he is in the driver's seat. And on his way, potentially, to the World Cup.
I think he's hooking it just a little too much to throw all of them. I don't think he can strike every ball.
We'll find out. I hope he proves you wrong, because that would be
Well, I was going to predict that.
delightful.
I don't think he'd go out of the way to say we might see all of them here, but I'm going to go a step further and say something's going to be light, a flat 10, a 2-something, 2-pin, light 7.
Well, the fact that he's ahead by such a large margin should loosen things up.
I doubt he'll go high, but the ball's going to bleed off too much energy to go high.
Fifth frame. Barnes leading by a large margin. And he gets another one. You couldn't see it off camera, but he ran it out to the left. And he leads by 56
And that's
pins.
actually what he's looking for. The ball kind of picked up and started, and then it just rolled through the pins just right. Not that it stops on the back end, but it just has that nice continuous motion where it's not going to go high and 4-pin or split.
Pluhowsky
exactly
with
what he's
a
looking
3-pin.
Shannon,
Pluhowsky has won this event 4 times in her career. She won it 3 times in a row in the early 2000s and wanted to get it in 2011, excuse me. And right now, Shannon is ahead by 20 pins, but Brittni will have a chance to narrow the gap. Mike Fagan is, at this point, dead in the water, at least at the halfway point of the match. If he can strike out, and he can shoot 244, but with Barnes with the front 5.
especially with the look, he's been light and high. It's not like he has room either way. His ball motion is just not quite as good. I think that's one reason Chris chose the pattern.
Yeah, Barnes shot 300 on this pattern, actually,
I think he also,
in the qualifying portion of this event.
I think he also felt with his equipment and the way he rolls the ball, he's going to have a much more controllable ball motion, where with Mike's game and his equipment, maybe just a little bit touchier.
Brittni a chance to cut the lead here with a strike, and she does. That cuts it to 10. So our women's match very, very close here. Only
Mike
a
trying to slow
10-pin
things
match.
down, taking 2 re-racks. Got those out of the way.
So Fagan needing strikes desperately here in the back half of this match.
Needs to hook now.
Never got it to hook, leaves a 2-8-10, and that might just about be it for Fagan. He does not look like he has the ball reaction to be able to keep up with Barnes on this pattern.
Just doesn't have a real good look there.
Huge shot coming here for Brittni Hamilton.
I thought Chris was covering boards. Mike's even deeper than him, throwing it pretty
Here's Brittni.
angular.
Big shot here for Brittni, a chance to tie the
gonna
match.
Oh.
A 10-pin on a shot that would have tied the match. Fagan thought he was going to give that a look there, but didn't connect on either pin. He's only got 88 in the 6th. And
Game over.
yep, Barnes basically just needs to
He's
kind
going to
of
throw
hit
it
the
as good
head pin
as
every time.
He'll throw it as good as he can here. He's going to try and throw them all.
Would love to put on a show here for the big crowd that we've got. We've got a huge crowd here. I mean, they are stacked 10 deep behind us, even around all the bleachers. I think everybody who bowled in the tournament is here watching right now. So here's Barnes.
Highest turnout ever, by the way, for entries.
It is. It was a record number of entries, and Barnes 6 for 6.
That might be his only questionable strike.
I think Barnes starting to smile a little bit. I think he's starting to realize he's done the math. He knows that he's in fantastic shape to win this tournament and accomplish the goals that he set out at the beginning of this week. I think Chris's phone was actually ringing back here.
Shannon with a light mixing strike there.
And Shannon leads by 11 with
And,
3 frames to go.
And has the strike up here, so it can increase that lead with a double.
So we've got a very close women's match. And the men's match is a blowout, but asterisk on the blowout, Chris Barnes has the front 6. And that keeps it interesting.
All right, so we got to call shots now halfway down the lane, Lucas. That's
good.
10 in the pit. Oh, no. It glided. That one stopped
It looked
fast.
good to me, but it just stopped hooking.
Holy
It
cow.
left the bucket. Not exactly what you want to see if you're Chris Barnes.
As fast
at
as I
this
thought
point.
it started to slow down, it
Wow. You and I both thought that
Wow.
was pretty good. And I think he thought it was pretty good, too. But he leaves the bucket. I mean, he's up by 88 pins with the spare, so not the end of the world for Chris Barnes. But
Shannon here is just kind of can't seem to get anything going and really keeping Brittni in the match.
and an open frame for Barnes, but doesn't much matter. I mean, the best that Mike Fagan can shoot is 208, and Barnes already at 174.
Yep.
So
We'll have to ask him what happened on that shot. I thought that looked real good.
Barnes basically needs one mark in the last 3 frames, and that would be enough. But our women's match, very close. Don't forget, we are going to be announcing the selections for Team USA immediately following our championship matches here. Mike Fagan, great run this week at the Team USA Trials, and he has earned a spot on Team USA.
Plus,
for
we'll have some
2014.
selections coming up also, right?
Yep, just mentioned that a second ago. Another
Sorry.
split for Fagan.
I mean, did they do the resume? People that
Yep,
submitted
we're going to
resumes?
announce
That's
everybody who's on Team USA coming
Okay.
up right after this. All of the resumes, so
so both teams will be
selections,
set.
everything.
And,
Everything will
and
be
the
set.
youth, all
Yep.
the youth are selected today.
So a big shot here for Brittni Hamilton as we kind of turn our attention to the women's match. Brittni down by 11. Packs it back for a strike in the 8th, and that's a big one because it sets her up for a chance for a double here in the 9th frame.
A lot of crowd support there.
Yeah, Fagan makes the spare for a good measure. But a huge shot coming up here for Brittni Hamilton in the 9th frame. Brittni can strike out for 227. Shannon Pluhowsky can strike out for 228. So pretty similar situation to what we had in the first women's semifinal. Or in the women's semifinal.
Yeah, you're saying right now it's down to just matching each other here.
Brittni packs them all back for the double.
It's kind of weird. Just looking at that trajectory, the last game, that's definitely through the head pin, definitely going high, and you're waiting for it to hook, and it just kind of sits there the whole way. And
a lot of people may not know Brittni Hamilton or have heard of her, but she's a quality young star, up-and-comer here in our sport. She has been on Team USA a few times now and was a star at Vanderbilt, both collegiately. Her collegiate days are past her now, but she's entering the prime Team USA phase of her career, and a win here would be huge. But Shannon Pluhowsky will have something to say about that. If Shannon strikes out 9th and the 10th, she will shut out Brittni Hamilton for the title. And there is one in the 9th right there.
Very good shot there. A little more direct. Didn't have that little loop to it. It actually held line the whole way. Kind of like Fagan the first game on the medium pattern. Very direct. Not giving away the pocket at all.
So Shannon Pluhowsky takes a re-rack here. She needs all 3 in the 10th to shut out Brittni Hamilton. If Shannon does not throw all 3, Brittni will have a chance. If Shannon goes spare strike, she would shoot 208. That would force Brittni to throw the first one. And Chris Barnes up by 68 pins against Fagan. That match is over. Just a matter of what the final score will be. Big shot here for Shannon Pluhowsky. And she misses it to the left a little bit and leaves a very awkward looking spare.
This could be tough here, the sleeper pin back there.
Yeah, that is a 359, I believe.
It is 3/4 of the bucket for the lefties.
Not a leave you see every day. The count doesn't hurt her, but it is not the easiest spare in the world to
almost looks like the 3 and the 5 are spread a little bit where you can kind of see that back pin. So she definitely has to go right through there.
So a very interesting finish here to our women's match.
Hang on.
And Shannon misses it in the 10th, an open frame. And she leaves the 5 pin up and shoots 196, and now Brittni needs just a mark.
Yes. And she's got she's got 2 all with a spare.
Yeah, so Brittni Hamilton just needing a mark now in the 10th frame to win the title.
Anything else is low 190s.
So here we go. Brittni Hamilton. A mark here in the 10th will earn her a trip to the World Cup and the Team USA Trials title.
She didn't take much time.
It leaves a 10 pin. Needs to cover it up. Tell you what, she probably really wished she had struck on that shot because you don't want to shoot a spare in these situations.
I think she's fine.
Brittni has made the 10 pin many, many, many times. I promise you, she's an excellent spare shooter. And that is all that stands between Brittni and the title right now is a single 10 pin. And she covers it up and she puts her hand on her head. And Brittni Hamilton looks like she's a bit in shock here.
Keep it on the lane, stay behind the line.
She hasn't quite won it yet. She needs one pin. It's Mike Fagan finishing up here. Selections coming up next, by the way, right here on Bull TV. We will be announcing all of the selections for Team USA, so stay tuned for that immediately following the conclusion of these championship matches. So here we go. Brittni Hamilton needs one pin. And Brittni Hamilton is your Team USA Trials champion. And she's headed to the World Cup as she defeats Shannon Pluhowsky 205 to 196. Brittni Hamilton gets it done. And she heads back into the crowd to find Mom, it looks like, who Mom is already in tears. How about that? What a moment for Brittni Hamilton. 205 to 196. She takes down one of the mainstays of the Team USA program, Shannon Pluhowsky.
Tough match. Shannon had one double. Of course, the open in the 10th. Brittni had an early open and two doubles. One in the middle of the game, one late. Just kind of a grind-out game.
So now we're just waiting for the final score in our men's match, but coming up in just a couple of minutes, we will be announcing all of the bowlers who have been selected for Team USA and Junior Team USA. So stay tuned for that. Expect some big names to be picked for Team USA. Shannon Pluhowsky is going to be thinking about that 359 for a while. Mike Fagan with a 163, kind of a sarcastic cheer for himself there, but Mike still earns himself a spot on Team USA for 2014.
That's tough to make those quick decisions. You get only 5 minutes, throw a few shots. The lane's changing ever so slightly every time they throw the ball in practice.
And you know you're taking on Chris Barnes, who is outstanding on this short pattern. And that is a difficult combination to overcome, as Chris looks like he'll be in the 230s, maybe even the 240s here in this championship match.
And you just kind of wonder a little bit that the semifinal matches were so high, and that's the pattern that they bowled on today, where the bowler's just in that groove. Did they have their equipment ready to go?
And Chris Barnes is your Team USA Trials champion, defeats Mike Fagan 211 to 163. 231 to 163. Congratulations, Chris Barnes, headed to the World Cup along with Brittni Hamilton. And our selection show coming up next here on Bowl TV. Eric, thank you very much for sitting in. It was a great championship round. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes. We're getting started with our selection process here. We are just a few minutes from starting our selection show here. We'll be announcing all of the selections for Team USA and Junior Team USA here in just less than a minute. Looks like we're about ready to go. So stand by, getting started here in just a couple of seconds. Just getting everything together. You can see them huddled up there, and we'll get going here momentarily. Just about to get started here. Bringing head coach Rod Ross down. And we should get started here in just a second. Bringing your mic up.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Orleans here in Las Vegas for 2014 Team USA Trials. Of course, this is always one of the greatest honors in all of bowling, to bowl for your country, and it's a great turnout, a record turnout this year, and we want to thank, of course, everybody who came out to bowl it. We want to thank the coaches who are out here working very hard, the friends and family. We know that you guys, you're here supporting all of these people, and when they're down here bowling, it means the world to them that you're here, and sometimes I know it's a long week down here when you're bowling, but it can be an awfully long week back there in the settee area as well, so we appreciate you guys being here. We're going to meet the team in just a moment, but first we want to speak real quickly with head coach Rod Ross of Team USA. I know tough decisions out here. Talk a little bit about what it is that you're looking for as you go through the week.
We're looking at their versatility, how they're playing at different patterns, their shot repeatability, how they adjust, how they're reading the pattern, how they adapt when they go from lane to lane, if they change their releases, if they change their speed, loft. We're looking at all the versatility and how good they adapt to the patterns.
The scoring system out here a little different than a lot of people are used to when they're watching bowling, but this is designed to try and find the most all-around players you can. So what is it exactly that went into that idea?
It's really 5 events. We're looking at 5 events very quickly. There are 5 small tournaments. Once the tournament's over, you have first, second, and third, and we go to the next one. We didn't want one pattern to weigh more than another pattern, so someone get a 300-pin head start and kind of cruise the rest of the week. Just like any other sport, whenever you're having a World Series, you don't get to carry over the pins or the runs to the next event. You start all over.
You ready to meet your team?
Sure am.
All right, let's get right to it. We're going to start with the juniors. First on the ladies' side. Now we have several people that have already been put on the team. They were, previously made it through the Junior Gold program. A lot of them are here as well. And if your name is called and you've already made it, we want you to come on down here. We want you to meet with the rest of your teammates. I'm going to run through the 6 on the girls' side that already made it from Junior Gold. Hold your applause on these names, but then let's let them hear it here when we get done. Julia Bond, Liz Colkin, Sarah Lokker, Natalie Goodman, Elise Bolton, and Brianna Clemmer. If you're here, come on down here. Here at Team Trials, we also had 2 automatic qualifiers. Let's first bring down Stephanie Schwartz.
Thank you. Thank you.
The other automatic qualifier, Mary Wells. And the Team USA Selection Committee has added 2 names to the list, both from here at Team Trials and her performance at North Point Junior Gold, Amanda Fry. And selected for her performance here at Team Trials, Michaela Douglas. You guys can all stay up here. We're going to meet the guys on your team as well. Again, from Junior Gold, the 6 who made it already. And again, guys, if you're here, come on down. Wesley Lowe, Cameron Doyle, Ryan Zager, Matthew Farber, Nicholas Crummel, and Andrew Anderson. Our first automatic qualifier from here at Team Trials, Greg Young. And the other automatic spot goes to Darren Tang. We have 2 more Junior Team USA selections. On the guys' side, from both North Point Junior Gold performance and here at Team Trials, Tyler Green. And also from North Point Junior Gold and Team Trials success, Ronnie Fujita. All right, let's move on to Team USA on the women's side. From our summer team trials, we've already brought Carolyn Doran-Ballard back to the team and Kayla Johnson, who is here. Come on down. We had 3 automatic qualifiers from here at team trials. You just watched the Stepladder semifinal with Sarah Lokker. And let's welcome back to Team USA, Shannon Pluhowsky. And our 2014 Team Trials champion, Brittni Hamilton. Sounds good, right? We're not even halfway there. We have 7 selections. Yeah, that's you. No problem. Okay, the Team USA women's selections from here at Team Trials, Danielle McEwen. Also selected for her performance this week, Holly Harris. Selected based on her resume and her performance at the summer team trials, Shannon O'Keefe. Also not here with us today and selected for her resume, Liz Johnson. Selected on her resume and her performance here this week at team trials, Kelly Kulik. Selected for her resume and her performance here at team trials, Missy Parkin. Forgive her if she's a little slow. And the final selection for Team USA Women 2014 on her resume and her performance at summer team trials, Stephanie Johnson. On to the men's side now for Team USA 2014. The 2 qualifiers from summer team trials not here today with us, Jeffrey Young and Nathan Bohr. Our automatic selections that you were just watching bowl, John Szczerbinski. Everybody. Automatic selection number 2, Mike Fagan. And this year's Team Trials champion, Chris Barnes. Oh, doing a great job. Thanks, appreciate it. And our 7 selections for Team USA 2014, from his performance here at Team Trials, Rob Gottschall. Also selected for his performance this week, Marshall Kent. Selected based on resume, not here with us today, Bill O'Neill. And also Tommy Jones. And based off of resume and their performance this week at Team Trials, John Janowitz. And selected for his resume and performance this week, A.J. Johnson. And the final selection for Team USA 2014, based off of his resume, not here with us, Sean Rash. Real quickly, Rod, you see your team behind you. I know that it just gets tougher and tougher out here. The competition's great. What did you see this week, and how excited are you about this group?
It's a very talented group we got. I mean, there's a lot of talent in the field all over. We're limited about how many players we can have. It's an important year this year for our men. We have a world championship in Abu Dhabi, and it's a world championship for our youth, too, both the guys and girls. So we have some very good players here to represent the USA.
How about a round of applause for Team USA 2014? Yeah. What? I'm wrapping it up. Oh, okay. That's going to do it for us. We know everybody's had a long day, wants to get back home. We want to thank the staff here at the Orleans. They put on a wonderful show for us all week long. The staff also working the tournament on the USBC side. Lucas Wiseman working back there nonstop all week long, doing a great job. Good night, everybody, and thanks for coming out.